What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel with another video on Final Fantasy VII Evercrisis. In this video, I'm going to be finally giving you guys my Lucia weapon tier list. You guys know that I've been a Lucia main even since the closed beta for this game. I love the character, I've been using her a lot through all of the content that's been released thus far, so I'd like to give you guys my personal weapon tier list for this character. Before I get started, I do want to apologize for the lack of videos and streams for the last few days. I've just had a lot of things going on in my personal life, you know, with the upcoming birth of my wife and I's third baby, on top of my job getting busier, and also we're having construction done in our house. I just haven't really had the time to be able to do any videos or streams, so I apologize for that, but I'll try my best to get more out to you guys, hopefully this week and moving forward, depending on my schedule. But without further ado, let's go ahead and give you guys my personal Lucia weapon tier list. So I'm going to be basing this on content relevant and also what current content is out for these weapons to shine, also taking into consideration co-op, what kind of sub-weapons you could use these weapons on certain characters depending on what they do. We're going to take all of that into account before I give an actual rating for the weapon. So here is my Lucia. I am very proud of this character and all the time I've invested in building her up and making her my main. So we're just going to go ahead and hop into her weapons and we're going to take a look at them one by one, starting off with her tranquilizer gun. And I'm going to be taking a look at these weapons at their maximum state so that way you guys have an idea of what they do. So this one gives her a self-heal, and it also removes the poison ailment as well as the darkness ailment. So it's pretty good as like a sub-heal for herself. So then, especially if you're going to be using her in really tough fights where you need more than one heal, you can have your main healer focus on your AoE heal, and then your Lucia can just focus on herself. So it's decent. I like that you could heal 2 ailments on it. The reinforcement abilities I actually think are really good. You have boost heal, so this is going to be great for like your healer. So for those of you that are looking for something for like Aerith, for example, this is a really good sub-weapon healing to have in terms of the our abilities. You also get boost ability potency, so this gives additional damage whenever the stance is maxed out on the offensive side. So whether it's physical damage or magical damage, you get that as well. The support material on this one, I would say, is pretty average. You get, you know, attack boost 1 across all 3 slots. So there's flexibility there. You're not getting the most amount of damage out of it depending on the material you have equipped to it, but it is overall solid. So with the ability taking into consideration and the R abilities and all that good stuff, I'm going to be placing Tranquilizer Gun right here on B. It's not necessarily super good. I do wish that the heal applied to other characters, like a single target heal, but it does heal herself. It is a pretty significant heal, and it does remove ailment, and if you use it as a sub-weapon for your other healers, it is a very solid option for that particular use. So overall, I'm going to put this weapon in B tier. Next weapon, ooh, it's the black rifle. Okay, there's a lot of mixed opinions about this one, especially because of that silence debuff, and that silence debuff is powerful, and I was hyping this up when I started first playing Lucia. I was like, oh, this is gonna be really good, it's gonna be really strong. The accuracy is at 30% for that particular debuff. Honestly, I feel like it's lower than that. I've tried this weapon out so many times on bosses that do not have any immunities to silence, and I have never been able to pull it off. So I don't know. I personally feel like the weapon is a bit overrated. I will say that the R abilities are pretty good for a physical damage dealer. You get boost physical attack and also boost crit potency. I think this is one of the very few weapons that gives boost crit potency, if I'm not mistaken. But the R abilities are pretty solid, and then if you have it in your main hand, you actually get attack boost plus 1 across all 3 materials. So just like the Tranquilizer Gun, it's solid. It's not the greatest, but it's solid, so it gives you a little bit more flexibility if you're going to be running this on your main hand. I will say that the physical attack stat on it is quite high compared to some of her other weapons at max. So all in all, and I feel like the ability is overrated. I like the R abilities, and because of that, and I also, like I said, I want to keep this relevant to the content that actually matters. So like the very hard summon fights, you can't use this because they're all immune. You can't use this for the Sephiroth fight. So, black rifle. All right. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put it a little bit above tranquilizer gun because of the good stats and the good R abilities, but the ability itself and the usability, to me, guys, I think it's overrated. I really do think this weapon is overrated, which is unfortunate because I really do like the design of the weapon, and if they could just boost that accuracy to like maybe 40% or even anything like that, that would have been cool. But all in all, I'm gonna put it in B tier above tranquilizer gun. All right, we're gonna take a look at Mad Minute. I actually really like this weapon. So this has a magic attack decrease, so it's a magic attack debuff. This is very useful for specific fights such as Shiva, very hard, because you need to keep Shiva's magic attack down at all times. Otherwise, she's just gonna nuke your entire party. Also very useful for like Ramu, any enemy that has a lot of magic attack. The physical attack on it is not too bad either at 501. The R abilities, I think, are great. You have boost HP, which HP later on is super important for like the much harder fights where you need a specific amount of HP or a high amount of HP. For example, the current Crash Sephiroth. Boost physical ability potency is super powerful. I can't tell you how strong this is. So you have up to an 80% increase in physical damage if that attack stance is at max. That is very significant for your physical damage dealer. So this is also not only a great weapon to have equipped on Lucia, but also any of your physical damage dealers to take advantage of in terms of the R abilities for their sub-weapons. And the materia, the support materia that you have on this is also excellent. I mean, you put this on Lucia on her main hand, she has physical attack boost 1 across all 3 support materia, so you could pretty much make her like a physical attack monster with this particular weapon. I really like this weapon. I personally think this is one of her better ones, especially for content where enemies like to use a lot of powerful magic attacks, such as very hard Shiva or very hard Ramu. So for that, I'm going to be placing Mad Minute, honestly. It's going to go right here. I actually think this is an S tier weapon. I think it's great. It's also a great sub-weapon for your physical damage dealers. It's a very good weapon in my personal opinion. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at Barn Swallow. So this weapon has been getting a lot of attention lately, especially because of the whole diamond sigil breaking. This is one of the few weapons that could do this. I know Matt's new weapon can do this as well. The stats on it are pretty good. 544 physical attack is pretty high. So if you have this on her main hand, it's really strong. My problem with it is that the R abilities don't make sense. It gives magic attack and boost lightning resist, which I question what they were thinking when they were designing the R abilities on this weapon. If that had like physical attack, I think it would have been better, but I don't know why that has boost magic attack. I mean, unless you're trying to build like a hybrid, damage dealer, like for Lucia, if you're gonna have this on her main hand. The support materia is again average, 3 attack boost 1s. It's not the greatest, but it offers you flexibility on the materia that you want to equip if you want to take advantage of those bonuses. Boost lightning resist, I guess this could be useful for somebody that likes to use a lot of lightning damage on you, like Ramu, for example. But because of the R abilities, I think it tones down the value of this weapon a notch. I like the sigil breaking for the diamond, but it's the R abilities that I question. So it's good for a mage, but it's a physical weapon. It's strange. But because of the command ability itself, I'm gonna put this, and it's unique. It's one of the very few diamond sigil breaking weapons. I'm gonna put it in A tier. It's gonna be in like the lower end of A tier, but I'm gonna put it at A tier for that command ability, good physical attack stat. It's the R abilities that I really question on this one. I don't know why they designed it this way. It's a physical weapon that gives you magic attack. Kind of strange. All right, next weapon, Serpent Eater. So I do have this at OB10, so I don't have to show you guys the maximum capability on it. This is a very relevant weapon for content because we have very hard Ramu, as we've seen with, the Sephiroth content that we had before the crash. Whenever he's in that lightning stance, which he starts off in that, this literally will melt him apart, especially if you don't have Maritime Sword. You get boost HP, boost water potency, so great sub-weapon for like a water damage dealer. And, I love using this weapon on my main hand. I know the physical attack stat is not the greatest on it, but it's a really strong weapon. I really do like this weapon. I think that it's again, relevant to content. You got to take into consideration how relevant is this weapon to content, whether it's permanent content that we have or current content, and even taking into consideration future content. And the support materia on it, I really like. So you got 1 attack boost 1, so the first slot gives you flexibility, and then 2 physical attack boost 1 plus 20%. You could definitely take advantage of the second and third slot, giving a really strong, like, you know, either ruin blow or any of the elemental blow materias, but very, very good weapon in my personal opinion, relevant to content. I'm gonna put Serpent Eater, where is it here? Serpent Eater to me, it's gonna go right here. It's gonna go right underneath Mad Minute. I think it's a really, really strong weapon, and the relevancy for the content is what makes this weapon shine for me. All right, next weapon is Pulsegun. I really like this weapon too, but let's take a look at it. I'm gonna do that way because I have mine at OB11, which is crazy. So you get boost attack, which gives you, you know, additional attack on your magic and your physical, so it's a hybrid. You get boost wind potency, which is pretty good. This is a great sub weapon for example, if you have Aerith with Prism Rod, or even Tifa with Motor Drive. Very, very good, especially for the current fight that we have with Crash Sephiroth when he's in his Earth stance. Great to be able to boost up your wind damage. The skill itself is not bad. It's an AoE wind attack, which can come in handy with multiple targets. And then the support materia is, I'd say the third one is probably my favorite because you get that Circle Sigil boost. So if you have Circle Sigil if you have like Circle Ruin Reblow, something like that, and you have it on there, you break more sigils on this. I think this weapon is solid. I really like the R abilities. Again, useful for your wind damage dealers. I don't think it's necessarily S tier, but this weapon for me, taking into consideration content that's out as well, I'm gonna say right here. I'm gonna put it right there. It's just, I put it below Barn Swallow, but it's still gonna be like low A tier for me for Pulsegun. This is a pretty solid weapon overall. Okay, next is SSR 1976. So one of her supportive type weapons. So first off, it gives 540 magic attack. So that's a pretty high magic attack stat, especially if you're building like a magic, like a magic attack version of Lucia. The ability itself increases magic defense on a single ally. Also heals, so if you're looking for like a magic shield, this could be potentially useful for like, let's say, the Sephiroth fight currently right now because he uses a lot of magic. The R abilities are pretty solid actually. Boost HP and boost lightning potency. So this could be a potential option for a sub weapon for Cloud if you have the Murasame. I'd say the R abilities are pretty good. And then the support materia on this, if this is on your main hand, I guess if you have like Mad Minute or something like that, but the magic attack boost, she doesn't really have a lot of magic options currently at the moment. Outside of like, what is it? Pulsegun, which I just showed off, and I believe her Rifle of Levin, which we're going to get to very soon, which is her free weapon you can get from Ramu. I'd say this is all right, but I could never see myself really using this in my main hand, so the support materia is gonna go to waste. I think this weapon definitely is good for your sub-weapons on your lightning damage dealers. I think this is where it really shines. The ability itself, I think, is situational. It's really needed for like hard fights where a lot of magic damage is incoming, but outside of that, I wouldn't see anyone really using this outside of specific fights like that. So all in all, this weapon, I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put it at C tier. This weapon goes into C tier. Good R abilities for your lightning damage dealer. Everything else about it, I think the ability itself is situational, and the support materia is just weird because there's not a lot of good magic options currently for Lucia to have this on your main hand. But later on, maybe down the line, this could be useful in your main hand when she has more magic options. So for now, it's gonna go in C tier for me. Okay, next. Okay, here we go. Rifle of Levin. This is the free weapon that you can get from farming Ramu. It has a solid ability, I would say, for a free-to-play weapon. It's a single target magic lightning damage, so if you want to build her as like a lightning damage dealer, like a free-to-play lightning damage dealer, this would be solid. It has boost water resist. I think this is preparing us for Leviathan. If I'm not mistaken, it's gotta be, right? And then afterwards it has boost attack, which is not bad. I actually like this on a free weapon, so you get a little bit of a boost on your physical and magic attacks, so not bad. The support materia is, again, Lucia doesn't really have a lot of magic options, so, I mean, if you're gonna build her as your magic damage dealer, this is probably gonna be in your main hand, so I guess it's good, but again, there's not really a lot of solid options. I would actually, if I would build her magic, I would probably have her SSR 1976 then on her main hand and have this on her offhand. That's how I would personally do it, but it's alright. It's okay. It's alright. Once she gets more magic options, I think this is going to be a better weapon. But it's a free weapon, so all in all, for a free weapon, I'm going to put it right here. Just keeping it real, I'm going to put it right there. It's not, like, super amazing, but it's solid. And if you want to build Lucia as a magic damage dealer, there you go. You can use this weapon as an option. Okay. Oh boy, Bald Eagle. Without even really going into it, this is her best weapon. Hands down, this is her best weapon. It has ice resist down, which was super relevant for the, the co-op Ifrit. It's relevant for the first part of the Sephiroth event. It's relevant for, solo Ifrit. It's really strong, right? And then you also get boost physical attack and boost ice potency. So really, really good. And you can also put this as like a sub-weapon for like an ice damage dealer. Even for like Sephiroth, even though I know his ice weapon is magic, you could still put it on him as a sub-weapon and increase his ice potency. And then the support material is just, wow, this is amazing. So the first one is all right. It's solid, gives her flexibility. Second one gives her physical attack boost, so have another physical material on there. And then the third one is where I really think this weapon shines even more. Attack boost ice. So if you have like Blazara Blow, smack that on there. And then she's not only, further making an enemy that's already weak to ice, further weak to ice, but she's also dealing an enormous amount of ice damage. So this weapon is amazing. I am absolutely impressed with this weapon. I'm glad that I've invested, quite a bit into it. I'm hoping I can OB10 it soon, but this is arguably her current best weapon in the game. Definitely top of the S tier. Really, really good weapon. All right, and finally her V39, which to me has an ugly design. I don't know. The design of this weapon is kind of ugly. Our abilities, the first one is solid, boost attack for both physical and magic, boost fire resist. So I guess if you want to use this on like an Ifrit fight for some reason, it's okay. The ability is a AoE non-elemental attack. The physical attack on this is not bad at 518, but it's kind of meh. All in all, the support materia, wow, is actually good. The support material on this is actually good for ice damage, but everything else about this weapon is just kind of like, I guess if you don't have Bald Eagle and you're looking for like a way for Lucia to deal more ice damage in like a fight where ice damage is important, you can have this on your main hand and then put Blazara Blow, but all in all, the weapon itself, I think this is her worst weapon, guys. I really do. I don't really see anything special about this weapon other than this stuff right over here. And maybe the first R ability, but all in all, yeah, this is arguably her worst weapon. And the design is just really, really ugly, too. Yeah, V39 is arguably in my opinion, is her bottom tier weapon. But that is going to go ahead and conclude my personal Lucia weapon tier list. What do you guys think of the the rankings and the placements that I put? Is there a weapon that I maybe undersold? Is there a weapon that I potentially oversold? Let me know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Also, comment down below if you're a Lucia main. You Lucia mains unite. I really enjoy this character. I love this character. I like that she's brand new to the Final Fantasy VII lore, so I'm really excited to see what else this character is going to be getting. But again, thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and stay blessed, everybody.